My name is Kim Laux, as you all should know. I'm going to talk a little bit about National Bone Marrow Registry. I remember the first time that I was asked to join the Bone Marrow Registry. I was in college, freshman in college at Drexel University. Walked down the stairs into the cafeteria, and there's a table that says, like, join the Bone Marrow Registry, like, beatematch.org. And there's a smiling kid there, and I swear this kid was involved in every organization on our campus. It was like that kid. And he kind of was standing over there, so I like did not make eye contact, and I walked away. But I was thinking about it, I'm like, that's such a weird request. Like, you're not asking me to donate my blood because, like, you know, I see my blood through my skin. I've seen it when I've gotten cut before. Like, God willing, I'm never going to see my bone marrow. I don't want to ever see my bone marrow, ever. And it's weird that someone would want to do, like, a voluntary surgery. Like, who would do that? Like, it was just, it was, I had thought about it for a long time after that, because it just freaked me out so much. And then fast forward 6 years, and my dad was diagnosed with myelodysplastic syndrome, which is a type of bone marrow cancer. And he needed a bone marrow transplant. And I'm like, this is why people join the registry. Like, this is why we need people on the bone marrow registry. This is a picture of what I imagine bone marrow donation to be, a giant needle, like, it's gonna hurt. But I kind of want to take my experience and my family's experience and walk you guys through it and hopefully clear up maybe some misconceptions you have about donating bone marrow, and then get you to join the registry because we all should be on it. These are a few questions that went through my mind when I saw that kid. Who needs bone marrow transplants? How do you donate your bone marrow? How do you join the registry? What are the odds that, like, you know, they're going to call on me to donate my bone marrow? And how will this help others? I'm going to start with a little question and answer. First question, how many of you are signed up to be organ donors? So when you signed up for your driver's license, you checked organ donor. So you have a handful. I want you to think of bone marrow transplant as something very similar. It's not, you don't have to be dead to do it, so it has that going for it. And are any of you signed up to be bone marrow donors? Are you on the registry? Good, fresh meat. And does anyone know anyone who's had a bone marrow transplant or donated bone marrow? Yes. And were they successful, or?
Yeah, the person I know, he had signed up for the registry and got the call that there was a match, and he went and donated.
And he's still alive?
He's doing great.
And did you know a donor or a recipient?
A donor, and she meets with her recipient. They meet every year all the time, like the anniversary of the donation.
Yes, it's a big deal. It's
Yep.
birthday. And then your
Donor and recipient, I know both.
Nice. So the facts, there's a large number of people on the registry. There's 22.5 million people. Each year, 20,000 people are diagnosed with bone marrow diseases that can be treated by bone marrow transplants. 6 out of 10 people on the registry, not on the registry, 6 out of 10 patients are unable to find a match, a perfect match. Steve Jobs is probably rolling over in his grave based on the amount of text I have on this slide. But I want to emphasize that there's many diseases that, other than leukemia and lymphoma and bone marrow diseases, that can be treated by bone marrow transplants. There are 3 ways to donate bone marrow. There's a slightly more painful, but still not super painful procedure where they put you under, they take the needle, and they go directly into your hip bone and extract the bone marrow. You will be sore for about a week after the procedure, but it's not that big of a deal. The second way is the peripheral blood cell donation, where they take blood out of one arm, it goes through a machine, and they put it back in the other arm, and the machine extracts the parts that they need for the transplant. And the third option, which isn't really relevant for the registry, is the cord blood, which has to do with the umbilical cord from babies. So the requirements to join the registry: you have to be willing to donate, of course. Like, you don't want to be called upon and be like, oh, like, second thoughts, don't want to do it. Although you can do that because it is voluntary. You have to be between the ages of 18 to 61 years old. And doctors like to find people who are younger than the age of 40 to donate because they're usually healthier and there's a better chance for a successful transplant. You have to understand the risk, especially for the one where they put you under. It is a surgery, so there is some risk involved. And you have to be available for 20 to 30 hours over a period of 4 to 6 weeks. So that includes like doctor's visits, getting tested. You might have to travel to a hospital that's farther away from where you live to donate. And then you just have to be generally healthy. So there's 3 steps to join once you go to the Be the Match website. You have to confirm you meet basic health guidelines, fill out a form so they send you a swab testing kit, and then once you receive the kit, you swab the inside of your cheeks with each of these 4 swabs, put them back in the kit, and then mail it back. And once you do that, they determine your HLA match, which is kind of like your blood type for bone marrow. It's based on 6 factors, items that you want to make sure that your 6 things match your patient's 6 things. So the more of the 6 that match, the better chance of having a higher survival rate. There's a 1 in 4 chance that your sibling will be a good match, a perfect match. But 70% of patients on the registry do not have a donor in their family. The HLA type is based on your ancestry or where you're from. So you're going to have, if you are donating, you're going to be donating for somebody whose ancestors probably grew up in the region where your ancestors grew up. Which is why it's really important now that populations are getting more diverse, people are traveling more and settling down in different areas, that people with diverse backgrounds join the registry, because you need to make sure that your background matches the patient's. And you can see here, minorities, there's still a greater need for donors who are minorities. There is a 1 in 500 chance that once you join the registry, you'll be called upon to donate. So I like those odds. Like, I can be on the registry, I feel good about myself, but they're not calling me every 2 weeks saying like, oh, are you available? So it's, pretty, I can do those odds. This is my story. I said my dad had a bone marrow transplant 3 years ago. This is his transplant day, actually, which coincided with my birthday. You can see we're enjoying some bone marrow transplant approved tasty cakes. This picture here is his first birthday. So this is day 0. This is his first birthday. So each year you have another birthday, similar to your real birthday, but it's for the bone marrow donation. You can see in this picture he's still a little puffy, has some skin conditions going on. But this is year 2, and he looks a lot better, smiles a lot bigger, and on the 27th we're going to be celebrating another birthday together, and he looks even better. So definitely a success. This is Nicole, who is my dad's donor, and she donated bone marrow for my dad, which is unbelievable. And not only that, but she's doing it again for someone else. So she's amazing. Tonight, I'm going to email everyone a list to the 2 registries. I want you to click on them and go through the steps that we talked about. Click the join button. I have here the Chinese Marrow Donor Program for Chinese students in our class. All of the registries are connected, so you might be called to donate for somebody in another country, potentially. So in conclusion, every 4 minutes someone is diagnosed with blood cancer. That's 360 people a day, 15 people each hour, and you have the power to, save someone's life. And it's just going to take 30 to 40 hours of your time, 30 to 60 hours of your time, over 4 to 6 weeks, and you can give someone else years of lives. How cool is that?
Question.
So how does the process work? So, say if you're a match, and they contact you, like what's the approximate timing from when they notify you till everything happens?
That's a good question. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren asked what kind of the timeline is for once they identify you as a potential donor. In my dad's case, there were 3 potential donors who were contacted right after he was diagnosed, and they determined he needed a transplant pretty quickly. I do think it normally happens pretty quickly. You can't wait around for a bone marrow transplant forever unless there's no match. So it does happen pretty quickly. I think there was a 2-week period of time before we heard there were 3 matches. They tested all of the matches and determined who was the best match. And then they flew Nicole from Georgia to New York City, harvested her bone marrow, and then sent it to my dad